Okay, I just got a really interesting combination. I was shuffling and 2 cards came out that we're going to start with. The 5 of Cups, and this came out in the last reading that I posted on YouTube. To me, this is, in a lighthearted way, this is a crying over spilt milk card, but in a deeper way, this is, we're still processing something that was really challenging, traumatic, maybe we're grieving, and we're still looking at the, over here, there we go, it's backwards on my camera. These cups here that have fallen over, the cups are filled with love, abundance, memories, emotions. That's what the water element represents in the tarot. And not being ready to turn around and see that there's still amazing goodness in your life. So this is a grieving card, right? Or being upset about something still. But this came out with the 3 of Wands, which is the waiting for our ships to come in. And what was incredible is that they came out like this at the same time. And to me, this looks like this individual shifting into the energy here. So this is moving from grief, from the feeling of loss. I have no idea why those balloons just went on my screen. Where did those come from? Did you see those balloons? Am I bonkers? Anyways, I don't know. I'm going to carry on. That was weird. So this is moving from the loss, from the grief, into hopefulness. You see that their head is bent forward. They're not able to see in front of them. They're not able to see opportunities. They're not able to see new things on the horizon. But that's exactly what this person is seeing. And it's the same person. It's you. I mean, it could be someone else in your life, but I'm pretty darn sure this reading is for you if you found it. So this, if you're feeling hopeless or you're still really struggling with something, just know that soon you will be able to see things from a different perspective because you will be ready to look up from the things that you're currently fixated on. Maybe you're really, really stuck on a situation or a person, a breakup. We've been talking about that a lot in the readings recently, which is interesting because I don't consider myself a love reading kind of reader, but that's what's been coming through. But when you do, you shift from looking at the things that have been lost to looking up and expecting good things coming your way, the things that will be found. I love the 3 of Wands because this card speaks to your experience. This speaks to a person who has walked so far on the journey. I don't know, I'm getting tripped up over my words right now. Maybe there's some communication issues or you're having trouble with your throat chakra. Hey, kitty cat. This is Princess Pearl the Benevolent. She's got to wear the cone because she's itchy. And I'm afraid she's going to whack the microphone. It makes a lot of noise, so I'm going to try to distract her. But maybe you're really, really having trouble communicating how you feel, and what you need to do is talk to a friend, a family member, a therapist, a coach, someone who can support you. Maybe there's a need to talk about it so that you can process this and let it go. Of course, I dropped the 3 of Wands. Hang on, just one second. Ugh. So that you can shift into this amazing energy. It's like what we talked about in the other reading about how you can't necessarily or haven't been able to see things clearly when you are so caught up in the grief, in the pain, in the loss, and focusing only on that. There isn't spaciousness for other possibilities to come into your mind, for problem solving, for hope, right? How could there? You're preoccupied. So when you're ready, and I think it will be very soon, you will be able to walk away from the grief and let go of the thing that you've been holding on to. When you do that, you're going to look up. Number one, you're going to see that there are those cups behind you that are still full and in the upright. So you haven't lost everything. And then with that knowledge that you have resources, so now you're going to be resourceful, you're going to lift your head and you're going to look to the horizon and you're going to see opportunities coming towards you that you could not see before. I love this. I also love how they came out in that order. So it almost feels like stepping forward, right? Moving in this direction. I love that. But if you're experiencing grief right now, if you're feeling down, if you're struggling to let go of something, someone, some situation, a place, a person, a thing, whatever it may be, just know that it might not feel like it right now, but things come to a close ultimately for a good reason most of the time, even if you can't see it yet. Yeah. So the Six of Cups came out. It was kind of sideways. So this is like the nostalgia. This is it might be falling into reminiscing only about the perceived good times. So in psychology, there's a thing called emotion associated memory. So our memories can be linked to whatever emotion that we happen to be feeling right now, and the emotion that was experienced during the memory that you are recalling, right? So if you're feeling really good in this present moment, it's a lot easier to remember really good times. The emotion is associated with memories. So those memories are the ones that come up through your consciousness. Oh, itchy nose. You know you're channeling when you got an itchy nose. This is why I always have a red nose. I wish it wasn't so. And then, if you're experiencing really challenging emotions, what some people would label as negative emotions, sadness, grief, anger, frustration. I don't think any of the emotions are bad, personally, but they can be challenging. So when you're experiencing those emotions, the things that we end up remembering are memories that are of challenge, of suffering, of difficulty, and that can cloud our judgment. It's hard for us to see a situation for what it was when we start getting nostalgic. If you've ever been through a breakup and you are focusing on just the things that were really good about it, and you're kind of glossing over all the things about it that were dysfunctional and were the reason why it ended up needing to come to an end, which was probably the right thing, we can get really hung up on only looking through the lens of nostalgia. So just be aware of that. Be conscious of when you're doing that, when you are glamorizing a past, when you are... Sometimes we can get into this, like, are you the type of person who tries to give others the benefit of the doubt? Because if you are, you might also try to give situations the rose-colored glasses, even when it's fallen apart, it's ended, it's just not happening anymore. You might be putting on the rose-colored glasses in hindsight and lamenting what was lost and getting all nostalgic for something that wasn't that great. So I'm sorry if you feel called out, but we're all guilty of this at some point in our lives. But okay, interesting. Knight of Cups. It wasn't real love. This could be a love relationship, it could be a friendship, it could be a family relationship, it could be a job, whatever. It's just relationship in general. The Knight of Cups is usually an offering of love, an expression of love, but this just very clearly came out in the reverse. Don't glamorize the past. Don't try to ignore what was truly wrong with the dynamic, even if things feel uncertain now or you're scared that you don't know what's next for you. Don't glamorize the past. Don't fall into the rose-colored glasses type of nostalgia, because it wasn't built on a strong foundation. It wasn't real love. Maybe it was love bombing, right? Maybe it was manipulation. Maybe it was something that made you feel good temporarily, but we know when you think deep down, that it wasn't real, or it wouldn't have longevity, especially if it's not a thing anymore, if it's fallen apart, right? So I want you to keep that in mind. Then on the bottom, we have the Empress. This is what really makes me feel intuitively like whatever this expression of love was, or the relationship that it was in whatever context, what this is doing for you is it is making you recognize, I certainly hope it makes you recognize, your worth. Empress energy is an energy of wisdom. It is embodied wisdom. And don't worry too much about the gender representation on these cards. They're just energies. But it's the Queen of Queens. It's the version of you that moves through this world with an understanding, oh my God, my cat, an understanding of your value as a person. Don't let anyone ever gaslight you into thinking that you are not a worthy person. there's a real opportunity for personal empowerment that is coming from this loss. So I witness you and I feel you in it. And I want to keep driving home the point that there probably wasn't actually a lot of love lost or a lot of opportunity lost. It could be a fantasy that this was built on. Again, could be a romantic relationship, could be a friendship, could be an opportunity, a career, whatever it may be. But whatever it wasn't built on something genuine. And you might be grieving for it more than you need to. So this is my invitation for you to contemplate. I don't think you need to. Yeah, I think there might be... Oh my goodness. Sorry, she's being bonkers. You might be backpedaling a bit. You might be in a bit of denial and regret. Don't be. Don't be. We have the Ten of Swords. It came out sideways. I do take sideways cards. The Ten of Swords usually, when it's in the upright, is the I'm done, I'm over it, like that's it. Stick a fork in me, I'm done like dinner. That's what this is like. But it came out sideways. So you may have thought that you were done, that you were over it, and now you're backpedaling. You are reminiscing, right? Nostalgia. Don't lose your power. Don't do it. It's like a wobble moment. It's like an old identity pulling on you for a minute because of a moment of weakness. And I shouldn't say weakness. Missing someone, missing the security of a job, missing a connection that brought you, a sense of connection, helped you feel less lonely if that's something that you're navigating. It can feel like even more of a loss than when it was just something that, you're like, oh, I know this isn't good for me. When we look through the lens of nostalgia, we can start making excuses for people, making excuses for a dynamic that wasn't healthy, making excuses for ourselves. And you know better. I love this Empress card, but the Six of Wands just came out too. This is victory. This is celebration. I love this card because this individual is not only riding a pony, but they're wearing a leopard print coat. And if you don't know, I really like leopard print. I like leopard print. Anyways, don't go back. Don't go backwards in terms of your self-worth. You can do whatever you want in terms of the situation, but I strongly, strongly, strongly encourage you to focus on grounding into yourself, into your self-worth, your identity. Move like the version of you that you really want to be, because she, he, they are you, but the one that's living the future that you really want. Instead of experiencing grief, you're going to move into a place where it's not the best feeling, but it's an improvement. That chip on your shoulder, it's the wounded warrior. But in going through this experience, you will have so much to teach someone else when they're telling you in the future about a struggle that they're going through, and you're going to be able to name it and be like, I'm noticing something unhealthy about this dynamic that you're describing, or it sounds like you're being taken advantage of. Have you ever considered the possibility that that behavior that person is expressing towards you is not okay? You are going to have that insight and that wisdom, and you're going to be able to help a lot of people because of the experience that you've just gone through. So the wounded warrior is not so bad. Wounds heal. Take care of yourself and understand that you are stronger because of the situation. And I don't say that in meaning to be, cheesy or make you feel like having a harder life or life experience is better somehow because it makes you stronger. That's not what I'm saying at all. But the inevitable ups and downs and challenges of life are going to help cultivate more resilience and wisdom. That is true. So you don't have to seek that stuff out, but challenges are inevitable. So try to get something good out of it if you can. Four of Wands, there's something about your home life potentially. This may have impacted maybe the relationship that you've been in, a marriage, roommate situation, family. Maybe something has fractured and you need to change. That could be a part of it. You aren't necessarily uprooted in reality, but I heard the word uprooted, so you might be feeling that way in your nervous system. Something may have happened that makes you feel like you don't have a solid foundation, that you're not on steady ground. This can be career-wise as well. If it feels like it's falling apart, how are you going to pay the rent or the mortgage? Do you feel like you have a foundation for your future, savings, whatever it may be? Yeah, that might be it. There's like a lot coming in all at the same time around the career stuff. So if that's you in this collective, I just want you to know that something more stable is going to come in. Much more stable. I think there was an illusion of stability with whatever, if this is for the career people, there was an illusion of stability with the thing that you have been doing, or maybe that you wanted to be doing and it didn't work out. Whatever that is for you, it's not as stable as you thought. Yeah. Oh my gosh. Page of Swords. Okay, Page of Swords is communication. So you could be waiting on a communication, or you could have received one that's maybe pulling you back into this nostalgic energy. I'm not too clear on what the communication part is for you, because there's a lot of people having very different situations in this collective. But I do think that the communication aspect is potentially a message that is drawing you back into it. So this could be a message from that person, a false apology. You know when one's real and one's not. This could be a communication about, this could be a communication from the past partner or lover drawing you back. This could be a communication from a family member who really wants you to be with that person, even though you know that it wasn't right for you, but they're trying to convince you that it was right, or they're questioning your decision to bring something to a close. It seems like someone is kind of poking and prodding at the reasoning behind the ending of a thing coming to a close, or it's that thing itself somehow rearing its head. And I think this is kind of like the last challenge, where you might be facing a feeling of instability or fear at what comes next because you can't see it yet. And so it's that temptation to go backwards. And so you are entertaining nostalgic energy when it's not as good as you're remembering it was. Okay? So then we have the Wheel of Fortune. Anything can happen. Anything can happen. And I like to think that that's a great thing. Anything can happen, right? And at the same time, anything can happen. So you need to be very, very certain of what you're worth, what you deserve. You need to be grounded into this version of you that has what you really want in life. Because that old version in that old situation or relationship or dynamic can't have the future that you want. There's a reason why things come to an end, even though it's hard and it can be scary in the in-between. So your opportunity right now, should you choose to accept it, is to embody the energy of the Empress. Don't lose sight of who you really are. And remember that when you decide, this is a part of manifestation, when you decide that you will be successful, that you will triumph, that good things are on their way to you, it's a decision. Then it doesn't matter how long it takes. Some people might say, like, how could you possibly know? Well, good things are going to come around inevitably if you let go of the schedule that you think the good things are supposed to come to you on. It's when you think it has to be a certain way, at a certain time, in a certain form, person, place, thing. When you're so set on that and the schedule that you want it to arrive at, if it doesn't meet that expectation, you will think next time that there's no good things on the way. Like that's just a recipe for falling into hopelessness and disbelief. But when you let go of those specifics and instead you lean into trusting that good things are on their way, they have to be. They will come eventually. Your job is to keep your eye on the prize, keep your eye on the horizon, Don't get dragged backwards into things that are not meant for you. Expect good things. Know that you will experience victory. This is a success card. This is being celebrated as well. But you got to start by celebrating yourself. It all starts with your frequency and deciding that it's going to be good moving forward. So that even if it doesn't feel good moving forward, you also have learned to practice the power of resilience. It's the bounce back gap. I should do a video on the bounce back gap, but it's like, how quickly can you bounce back from these moments that make you wobble? Don't let it become an entire identity collapse back into an old way of being. You're better than that. You're beyond that. You have moved on. Empress energy. That is your mission right now. Expect good things. Know that victory is inevitable for you. The wheel is going to turn in your favor, but you have to believe that it is. I think that might be about it for this message, but let's see if there's anything. Oh my gosh. The sun. Aw, I love that. So the sun is major arcana, right? That just made me feel, I was going to say sunshiny inside. That makes me so happy. There is goodness on the horizon. There is so much good stuff. Maybe you just can't see it because you're looking at the past, or you're looking at whatever has just happened. I hope that this finds the right people. Maybe you'll stumble across this right after the breakup, or right after the job loss, or right after the relocation, or the fight, or failing the test. I don't know, but I hope this finds the right person. If you're in the in-between, that is a beautiful opportunity for you to really, really anchor into who you are without the influence of other people and their opinions. No boss telling you what to do, no relationship telling you how you should be, no one telling you who and what you are. You are your own creation. You don't need to find yourself. You create yourself. And that's all a decision. This is such a powerful moment for you in your life. You get to choose now what you want moving forward. And then you surrender, because the universe is going to decide. It sounds so woo-woo, but it is. Things are going to unfold in the right time. So surrendering to that while maintaining that identity of the person who can have that. I call it my favorite future. It's not a fantasy future. It's my favorite future, because I believe that somewhere out there in the multiverse, which they say mathematically must exist, even if we can't perceive it, there are infinite versions of you living infinite lives. So choose to be the one who has the favorite future that you want. Choose it now. Expect good things and know that, it doesn't get any better than that. Also, sunflowers are my favorite. There's so much goodness around the corner. You might also be traveling. I had seen the Chariot on the bottom of the deck a while back. Oh, well, I shuffled it away, but I didn't get the World. Oh, sorry. I think I have to cover up the... You have the Sun, the Wheel of Fortune, the World, Three of Wands, Empress. This is a very good reading. I am sending you so much love. I can't wait to hear about what is going on for you and what comes of this situation. So whether you're feeling good or you're feeling awful or anything in between, let me know in the comments how you're doing. Like this video, subscribe, send it to a friend if you think it's for them. And I'm sending you so much love. I'll see you in the next one.